Hello, 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 and welcome to the No Faces Comic Chat. I'm your host, Bub, and today with me, as always, you two, you guys, the viewers, all yous peoples viewing us. That's who's with us as always. And sometimes we got extra people like Metarog.
Hey, greetings everyone. Great to be back here on Monday night with the Bub and our special guest tonight.
And boy, isn't he special, and he's going to tell us just how special he is with a very special story, the big tease from last week. With us for the first time since the last time he was with us, Jambo Comics.
I feel special. I'm glad to be here, guys. I really am. And it's a miracle that I am because I almost died last week of heat exhaustion. I got stuck on a building I was working on, could not get down. I was up there for about 3 hours, baking in the sun because a ladder came loose from the building that I'd climbed up on.
Whoa.
And there I was. Yeah, just me in the sunshine, having a good time. And that's why I was not here last week.
You didn't have yourself.
I was gonna come get him off a roof so last week before the show began, like long before this, like earlier in the day, I was hollering at him to see if he was gonna be able to make it for Monday night. And he said, "Not at the moment. I'm currently stuck on a roof." And so he explained the story to me. And I was like, well, I could come get you if you want. I mean, it's about probably a 2-hour drive, but yeah, I could come over there and get you.
I should have had you come and get me because you would have been faster than the fella that did come and get me.
Ooh, there you go. So he said I didn't have to because somebody was coming, but yeah, that guy.
I didn't get in any hurry. Let's put it that way.
I was like, boy, I bet he's on your crap list. And what did you say? You said he's not getting a Christmas card this year.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Getting a lump of coal.
That's terrible. Just terrible.
In the middle of summer.
Hazards of the trade. Yeah, it's never easy. So.
Man, middle of summer, stuck up there 3 hours. Wow.
When you grab a hold of a rickety ladder and it shakes with you, don't go up on the roof. That's what we took away from this.
I mean, now let's get this story straight now. There was no damsel in distress on the roof, right?
No. Unfortunately, no. I would have had some company up there, but
there was no cat on the chimney there that you're trying to rescue. Nothing.
No, not even that.
If there was a woman sunbathing on her roof. Did she lose her top into bushes, and you were trying to return it to her?
No, not even that.
All right then.
Sorry.
So basically, you just went up there for no comics. There were no comics on the roof.
No comics even.
Oh, that's a worse fate worse than death right there.
I have YouTube because I had my phone in my pocket. So.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I was able to catch some time watching some YouTube. Got caught up on all of Bub's latest videos and stuff. So.
Oh, yeah, you had quite a few.
Wow. What a story. If you all missed that story, he'll tell it again. Go ahead, Jambo.
Well, we're glad.
It brings back bad memories. I don't know.
We're glad you made it, especially since if you don't have your will yet and didn't put us on there, we're very glad you made it.
Yes. And correct that as soon as possible. Just make me the executor of your comic estate.
Oh,
gotcha.
Those comics will never see the light of day again.
Yeah, they will. I'll make sure that every book that I already have doubles of go to a good home.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. All right, Roger, who do we got in the chat with us tonight?
Well, we got quite a few here. We got James Las Cruces, 1971. Scott is in here. He said he found it. I think, the chat. We got Jimmy, the geek aficionado. How you doing? Waiting, sitting at the airport in New York City. I know how you feel. I was there several weeks back myself.
Got to be better than sitting on a hot roof.
Well,
5 hours.
Slightly, yeah, slightly. At least you have libations around.
Yeah.
That old comic smell. Hey, it's been a while. Hey, great to see you back over here. Our buddy from across the pond, the Gray Man, is here saying, "Hey, faceless one."
Through the pond instead of bathing, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And of course, Jackson Roy Kirk is saying, "Uh-oh, the Three Stooges are on again." Yeah. I wonder who's Mo, who's Curly, and who's Joe here, or Shemp, or whoever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ben Compton, our great community supporter for a long time, and Comic Mag Musings. Hey, are you still in Hawaii? Are you back, Bill? How you doing? That's it.
I don't think he was ever in Hawaii. I think he just purchased a background pack for his phone, and he's been editing himself into pictures of Hawaii.
Okay, that could be.
So I think that's what's going on. So look, poor Gray Man, he's so confused. Bless his heart. So what a waste of time watching Bubs vids. A face worse than death, surely. But more importantly, the Jackson Roy Kirk has guessed the reason why we have the power of flight as our topic today. It's because had Jambo had the power of flight, two things. One is he would have been able to go up there without the ladder that ended up failing him shortly thereafter. And two, even if he had used the ladder to get up there, he wouldn't need the ladder to get back down. He could have just floated his little flying self into the neighbor's pool, got a cool dip of water, and and chatted it up with the local yokels. So that's why our topic is what it is. Thank you, Jackson Roy Kirk, for spelling it out for those of us who are still in the low gear. All right, good to have everybody. Oh, Jimmy the Geek, hanging out at the Admiral Lounge.
I think that's what, American Airlines?
Yeah, he's in New York City, so he's on an American airline. Yes. More than likely. I guess it could be JetBlue.
Okay.
You know.
You're sounding a little tinny, Bub. I don't know if you have the usual mic that you use there.
You're welcome. Oh yeah, I'll fix that. Sorry about that.
Okay, there you go. Sound better already.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get it fixed up, worked out.
Yeah, you sound better already. You sound better already.
I think I sound the same, but it's okay.
Well,
it sounds a little better. Yeah.
Over the speaker, you sound a little better.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, my bad. Wait, I'll fix it.
Well, I hope so because I ain't fixing it.
You're not fixing it?
No. You're on your own, buddy. When it comes to tech issues, I usually call you when I have a tech issue.
All right, how's that? Welcome back.
It's okay. Do you want us to start the chat while you're figuring things out there, Bub? So that we don't have dead air like this.
Oh, I think it was dead air. It's just not great there. All right, whatever. I give up. Is that too loud?
No, that's okay. That's all right.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I quit. All right. Well, some more people showed up while Roger was critiquing me. We got Collecting Chaos in the house. Let's see. Was reporting from his bathroom. Don't mind the rushing water. We can still hear you, Bub. All right, I'll get that fixed. All right, thank you all. And Comic Man Musings never revealed his true location, so we still don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
All right. So today the topic. Does anybody remember our team name while we're at it? We're back to team names. Everybody remember that?
The Highway Flyers.
That's it. Now I stopped putting it on the thumbnail because you suckers, you're always tricking and reading the thumbnail to get away with it. I stopped. It's still in the title, but it's no longer in the thumbnail. So there you go. Well, today we are the Flying Fungus Friends. I think is what I called us. Is that what I called us?
Flying Fungus Friends. Okay, that alliteration is a little odd. I have to admit, DS would not approve.
He rarely approved of anything.
True.
That's no threat.
Very true. Very true.
All right, let's see. Yeah, it is the Flying Fungus Friends. I thought it was.
Even you didn't remember.
Oh, I wasn't quite sure.
Well, so he was trying to get us, and he didn't even remember.
I was going to call us the Abba Fungul Friends, but I thought somebody might know what that meant, so I didn't. That's how that goes. All right.
There, Bill gave you a little tip there, so you know.
Oh, what did he tell me?
Put this toward my Kentucky picture package.
Hold
on.
Oh, look at that. This towards my Kentucky picture package. Yes. Don't worry. You will get a full package from Bub. Anybody who wants Bub's package, just send $3 in a self-addressed envelope to my Dimder Po box.
If you dare.
Yes, if you dare. The fickle finger of flying fungus friends. That sounds about right. Kenneth Bird's in the house saying hello to everyone who's here tonight. And the people who's watching on replay, he could care less about you. That's what Kenneth Bird says. I could care less about you. There's fungus among us. Bunch of fun guys here in the room. All right.
That's really.
Thank you so much. What a kind and generous gesture. Yeah. What does that do? What's the little star do? I don't know what that does. All right, cool. What was I doing?
I don't know. I'm sure we're going to be showing comics or something at some point here, Bob.
All falling apart. It's all falling apart. Oh, that's what it is. I owe Comic Mag Musings a little Linda Carter, just a little. Now he may still be on vacation and watching with the whole family, so this is the only one he'll get today. So,
see, that's what I needed to come rescue me off the roof.
There you go.
There it is.
Now, see, Wonder Woman could fly later on, right? But earlier she needed her invisible jet.
Now you're getting ahead of ourselves.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. All right. So let's so first of all, I want to talk about what we're not talking about. So we're talking about flight as a superpower, and in my most humble opinion, you guys know how humble I am. It's one of my best qualities. So what I say is that the power of flight is overused as a superpower. So here's what we're not talking about. We are not talking about engineered flight. People that have purchased, developed, procured, whatever, the power of flight via some jetpack or airplane Howard Hughes did not have the superpower of flight. Even as amazing as it may have been at the time, the Wright brothers would not qualify for this either. So we're going to talk about it. What you agree, Jambo?
Yes, but I'm putting back as we speak several of my books.
Good job. Let's see. And then also there's more. This is not what we're here for. We're not here for the power of flight. In addition, space rangers who have, jetpacks in space and stuff like that, we are also not including those fine fellows and ladies. That is not what we're doing here. So
you see what's going on here, Roger?
Roger left.
Okay.
He had to go. He sent a message in the background saying that all he had were old Wings and Flight comics from the 40s and 50s. And he's hurried to return them all. So Legion Flight rings are out.
Okay.
I don't know. I would be open to a case being made for those, as I would say that they non-mechanically give you the power of flight. So maybe there's a case to be made for those. Let's see. I don't know. That's a tough one. What do you did you pick any Legion of heroes with flight rings? Hey, CP.
We will, we'll have to explore this further here.
All right.
Let's see. I've got a few.
Did you pull some for this?
I did.
Oh, let's see it. All right. Roger is feigning internet issues. It must be Monday. Well, as a nice fellow once said to me, we're not going to waste time on dead air waiting for to get technical issues worked out.
Who said that?
All right, Jambo, what have you got for the Legion?
Well, I got the one hero that I'm sure everybody is thinking about right now, And, you know, when you think about flight, you think about this guy, Wiggles the Wonder Worm.
You know, I probably think about Wiggles more than I care to admit.
Can you see? Can you
Yep,
see
I
old
see.
Wiggles there?
I see him. Wait, which one is he?
The wiggly worm there. This guy. It is even a LB Cole cover.
Where's the worm?
Let me see. I can barely see
It's
myself.
awful dark in that room.
This guy.
Are you been setting some photos? Doing some dark
no.
room work in there?
Let me do this.
Uh-oh. What's happening? This is when books fall.
Yes.
This is the precursor to
the crash. Melissa, come help me. See it better?
Yeah, which one's the worm?
The guy with the cape. The
That's
flying
a
guy.
worm?
Yeah, he's a worm.
He looks kind of like a bear or something. All right.
Old
We'll take it
Wiggles.
as a worm.
He's a wonder worm, you know.
Goodness gracious.
And this guy, everybody's thinking of him too. The Mighty Atom.
Oh, yeah. I had him on.
You had that
Dang
pull,
it.
didn't you?
I got to put it back now. Thanks for nothing, Jambo.
Okay, we'll go with some classic heroes.
We better.
Like these guys.
Oh, yeah. Torch and Torchy, huh?
Torch and Toro.
That's what I said.
No, I wish it was Torchy. That would have been better, right? They
Yeah, it
would have
should have
sold
been.
more books that way. The
Torchy
Torch
Todd.
and Torchy.
That's a lovely piece there. So do you think so? Okay. Now, and we're going to get into this now, right? Because you did this.
Right.
Isn't that particular Human Torch actually an android?
He is an android.
So are we counting that as mechanical flight or non-mechanical flight?
Well, is he a sentient being? If he's a sentient being, then I would say that would be a superpower.
Oh, really?
Yes, that he was built in with, but superpower nonetheless, right? Let me see.
Oh, so.
I did have this guy pulled, but I'm going to have to change it.
Toro isn't an android. Oh, comic back. Airboy. As a pilot, you were calling him a flying character?
He has the power of flight with his special jet airplane there.
You're
But
reaching.
it's not a superpower, so yeah, I got rid of that. So we're not going to show that.
No.
Don't pay no attention to that.
Thank you for showing us what you weren't going to show us. That was lovely. We need more of that.
Now she does. She has the power.
Oh,
of
wow.
Wow.
See what I did there?
I do. I did see what you did there.
Mary Marvel. Now, how is she able to fly?
She has that special power that Captain Marvel has. All the powers of the Greek gods. When she says the word, she turns from little Mary Batson to Mary Marvel.
But she's still the same age and everything, right?
Pretty much, yeah. They didn't explain why she didn't turn from a little girl into a big person like this guy.
That's confusing. Billy said he's tuning in to see how Jambo is going to claim Betty Page has the power of flight.
I looked. I really looked.
Did you really?
Like, man. Yeah, they had her in like an airplane in one of the new Betty Page books.
Yeah, I've got one where she's riding a rocket. I almost chose
Oh, well, there you go, man. Those are the Betty Pages, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have put that in here.
Captain Midnight. So what's the story with Captain Midnight?
Well, he has the power of flight,
I thought he had the
But-
power of glide.
Yes. But it is, yeah, not a superpower.
Right. So the question before us is, why is flight overused? And I think we've answered it. It's not. Generally, most superheroes can't fly.
Not as many as you would think.
Not as many as you would think. But the ones that do, boy, they fly all over the place.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Can't get rid of these suckers.
Well, this guy, let me show you this guy. Okay, there's two of them on this cover.
Uh-huh.
Okay, do they have the power of flight? Not without assistance, right?
I feel like I've seen Silver Surfer levitate.
Does he levitate without his board? I'm sure he could make himself do it, but he doesn't.
Does. I guess not.
And
Then no,
Thor,
they don't have the power of flight.
Thor doesn't, because he uses the hammer to pull him around.
He levitates a little bit through electromagnetism. Kind of like Magneto flies a little bit.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it
a
for me.
tough one. That's it. Well, what do you think? Do you think those are flying them there guys flying or not?
Thor, no. Just because of the nature of his flight, he's being pulled by the hammer. And the surfer, yes. Because like you said, even if he didn't have the board, he still has the power cosmic and could probably use that to propel himself somehow.
Yep, there
That's
it is.
what I think.
Thor throws his hammer and hangs onto it. Well, who doesn't?
Can you hear me?
No.
Yes.
Oh, great.
No.
The computer was
no.
just not having it, so I'm on the phone.
Hey, did we mention Unruly Simeon was in the house? Or did he sneak in?
He is.
Yeah, he snuck in a while back.
All right, welcome. All right, Jambo, that's enough of your lobbying for anyone but someone with the power of flight. I think only Mary
Hey.
Marvel won that one.
Cool stuff, Jambo. Real deep cuts. I like that.
You weren't watching. You were scrambling around.
I
trying
was
to
too
fix your internet.
watching. I was trying to
Metro
get
was
the
hanging
computer
out on
going. I
the
was
roof
watching on my
trying
phone.
to change a coat hanger there to get the internet working.
Listen, no,
Lucky
I
we
tried
get
everything. That
stranded.
computer is just saying no, no, no. So
No.
All right. Now let's. Well, Roger hasn't gone yet. Roger, you want to go real quick before your internet tears up?
sure. Let's go.
All right.
All right. So, yeah, I picked a few selections, and we'll talk about them. Like some, to me, don't make sense with the character, right? Like Spider Woman. Like how many spiders can fly?
Good point.
0. I think there are a few who sort of like float on, a little bit. They float down from trees, things like that. But I don't think there's any flying spiders. But again, to differentiate her from Spider-Man as much as possible, they gave her a very different power set. So,
Yeah, like everything they had left over.
yeah, exactly right. Venom Blast.
Which doesn't even make sense.
The power of flight. She doesn't have like a spider sense per se, but she thinks she's some kind of mutated being of some sort. But anyway, yeah. And she's a woman versus a man. So you're right. It's just like everything is about as different as you can get.
Yeah.
I can't see the chat, by the way, because I'm on my phone. So if there's anything,
I'll put up anything pertinent.
All right.
For you.
But again, that's just one of those that, I mean, I understand why they gave her the power of flight. I mean, because otherwise she'd be pretty boring. She's not really that athletic like a Spider-Man, doesn't spin a web and can travel that way. She'd just be more like a ground-based character with no vehicle. So I understand that. But if you're calling her Spider-Woman now, if you would have called her like, like she has a villain called the Killer Moth or something, that would have made more sense. But
Right.
as such, that's the way it is, and I kind of get it, right? Here I picked Captain Marvel. Now, originally, Bub, like you were saying, no artificial means of flight, right?
Right.
Originally, he was part of the Kree, and he did have the suit which had the power of flight. But then, when he got the negabands, now he has cosmic awareness and the power that goes with those, including propulsion. So,
But are they dragging him by the wrist?
I believe that somebody correct me, but I believe that what it is that the negabands create a negative space around him, so he actually, like, it's like the differentiating of air pressure or whatever, but in space. So that's how he gets to fly. But I could be wrong about that. It's been a long time since I remember the logic behind it. So I mean, you said no artificial means, but so I guess technically negabands are artificial means.
Well,
but
I said by no mechanical means.
Mechanical means. Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha,
that's what I was trying to say. So not airplanes, jetpacks, rocket boosters.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
Okay.
But you know, we had the argument, well, what about like Green Lantern's ring or any of the, you know, Legion of Heroes rings? I mean, I think
we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah.
I think if it endows you with the power, then I feel like that counts.
Okay, I agree. I mean, so like, for example, Iron Man's suit.
Yeah.
Right?
So it gives him power.
It gives him the power of flight, but it's part and parcel of his whole power set, right?
But it's mechanical.
But it's mechanical.
It's definitely mechanical. I don't think that gives him the power to fly. He just uses the suit to fly. Anyone could, well, almost anyone. I know it depends if you have the core or whatever, but the idea is the suit itself has the power to fly. They're just
not originally, but he made it so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I didn't choose Iron Man for that reason, by the way, because I thought that was just a bit too much technology based, rather than something like the negabands, which is, you know, more of a power object, like a Green Lantern ring. There's more than science behind it, is what my point is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I prefer more than science. How about
more than
that?
science? All right. So let's go to
engineering.
Right. So I chose this character because he got his powers through, I believe, being dipped in a vat of some kind of fuel, some kind of special fuel. Somebody could correct me there if I'm wrong. And half his body is like carbonized or somehow got disfigured. But his power is not inherent in his armor, which he does have on. It's his armor is what contains his power. In other words, he would always be he would always be projecting these powerful jets of energy if it wasn't for contained in his armor. So it's not inherent in the armor. The armor is just a way to harness it.
Do you have any videos in the archive that explain how the Jack of Hearts was the creation, actually a side effect of Take Your Daughter to Work Day at Marvel back in
I do not.
In 1978?
A great video, though.
Terrible.
That would be a great video. That would be great. That would be cool. I have to check Deadly Hands of Kung Fu exactly, I remember him falling in a vat of fuel or something, jet fuel or some kind of special fuel, and that occurring. So again, that is what gave him his powers, not through, again, more than just science. You know, it was something there. You know, that besides his armor, it's not. He could still fly without his armor, is what I'm getting. It's just that he couldn't stop. You know, he'd just keep going. You know.
Yeah, that happens.
Well, not to me, but you know. All right, so here's a tough one. I was really hemming and hawing here about Doctor Strange. Technically, he doesn't fly; he levitates. He's got the cloak of levitation.
Right. Does the cloak give him that ability then?
Yeah, but the cloak is mystical in form, and
it's giving him the ability to fly. It's not dragging him around by the collar.
Well,
what about when he's in his astral form, though?
Well, he can fly when he's in astral form, but at that point, it's not the cloak of levitation. I think it's just because astral forms can fly naturally, I believe.
Okay.
But this is my question to you guys. How is it that he, propels himself backwards, stops, etc., things like that? Because it's the cloak of levitation. So levitation is only one way by definition, correct?
Up,
yeah.
I don't know.
So there must be something else going on. Does he use his mystical powers to propel himself and then retard himself?
Maybe he just eats at Taco Bell.
Does he carry a fire extinguisher behind him that we don't know about?
That would do it.
yeah, I think that might be it. I think we'll figure it out.
So I wasn't sure if this is one which, but I'm not sure if this is power of flight per se. I mean, it is because he flies. I mean, that's just the way it is. But I'm not sure if it's all just the cloak or if there's some other kind of
he
dynamic.
Can certainly travel with it. So he can levitate straight up, but then he also floats after that. So I think if you can travel in the air,
mm-hmm.
I'll rule in favor of flight for that one.
Okay.
Air travel.
Air travel. Okay. Well, because
visible air travel, not teleportation.
Right. Well, that's right. That's a whole different kind of
interdimensional scooting about is not what we're talking about here.
Right. I was just wondering if this would be considered flight. I mean, it is. He does fly. My point is, but based upon the rules of what the cloak of levitation does, of course, in the movies it goes everywhere and all that. But why wouldn't it be called the cloak of flying or something instead of levitation? I never understood that. Anyway, just those are the things that keep me up at night.
Levitation like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Collecting Chaos has a dissenting opinion.
Okay. Nope, without the cloak.
Scott fell asleep at the beginning of this show, but he's just woke up.
Oh yeah, Scott. He goes to bed early. I know that. He wakes up early.
All right.
Okay, so I missed a few minutes, right? So did you guys discuss the Vision or Submariner at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we discussed all those guys. So I guess you're out of books.
No.
All right, who's next?
I got more.
No, we didn't, Roger. Go ahead.
Oh, we didn't. Oh, okay. All right. So Submariner, right? Why does he fly? Why?
Those crazy
because
little wings.
He shoots himself out of the water at such tremendous speeds that he's basically just leaping from place to place.
Right. But he's inherent. He was born underwater.
Right.
He's a water-based character.
I understand.
Why is he flying? Is he a flying fish? I mean, even flying fish don't fly. They just sort of jump, out a bit more.
Well, I mean, that's like saying, you're a land-based creature. Why do you fly when you can just walk on the road? I don't really.
Well,
it's
true.
the same thing. He's looking to travel faster and quicker than his natural surroundings.
Well,
would lend it.
True, but generally speaking, even ground-based characters have some aspect that is tied into their ability to fly, other than like Spider-Woman or something like that, which we're talking about now, right? Like for example, Nova, which I'm talking about, Human Rocket. Well, that's inherent, Human Torch. Well, you can say flame does, the smoke goes up or whatever, but somebody who's like Aquaman doesn't fly, because he's a water-based character.
Okay, so is the original Human Torch, does he have superpowers?
Well, he's an android.
Right.
He was created by Horton, and when he introduced oxygen, he blew into flame, right? But I guess that's kind of like the Vision, right? I mean, same thing. He's an android. His ability to fly is based upon density shifts.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a good question. I'm just saying.
We asked this when you left.
Uh-huh.
We're just trying to find out your opinion of it. Same
right.
thing with what was the other one we had a question on? Well, we talked about the Legion of Heroes, whether the
Yeah,
rings
we'll talk
count.
about that in a bit. I was
We
just
already
wondering
talked about it.
I'm just putting Submariner kind of in the same boat as Spider Woman. You know that it doesn't make sense that character from that domain or that particular species.
Or those wings are so tiny. How
Right.
fast would they have to move to make him, to lift him up?
It'll
Right.
be
Well,
one of
kind of-
those issues where physics can't explain it. Like
right, kind of like the
bumblebees
bumblebee.
or-
It shouldn't be able to fly, yet it does.
Yeah.
right.
Well,
So, but yeah, what did you guys decide about the androids? Does that count, or is that mechanical means?
We had quite a bit of trouble over this one.
it was a struggle. The struggle was real.
Yeah, you left
Sure.
us right when we needed you. We haven't needed you since, by the way.
Oh,
And then you-
well,
and then-
okay. Hey, listen, I'll take any kind of need at any point in time. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's kind of one of those gray areas because the ability to fly was, I don't believe, inherent in their creation, like the Human Torch. That wasn't the objective.
Right. I
But
agree.
nevertheless, they do fly. So I don't know. They're kind of quasi in there, I think. I sort of put them in the middle ground.
All right, putting them
Yeah.
in the quasis.
Well, they
Gotcha.
put them in the quasis. All right. I just put these people here, Eternals, because the whole, like the Legion, the whole species can fly.
See, but okay, so that's a great example, really getting at the part that I think is just an overuse of flight. And it even in the mechanical sense.
Yeah.
Why is it that every super genius, the very first thing that they figure out how to do is find a way to fly somehow, either by power or by mechanical object, but in some way they've
You gotta
created
get around.
something, and then they
Yeah,
completely keep that technology to themselves for the most part, at least for most heroes.
Yeah.
And then just keep enjoying it, and don't care about anybody else. This is what I need to get around and stop purse snatchers. I need this potential multi-billion-dollar life-saving device to stop a purse snatcher. It's like it gets a little ridiculous. And then
True.
Roger says you have an entire race of beings that can fly. Well, how
Right.
convenient. So, everyone can fly. Why do they even have homes or they just fly in the clouds all the time? Why are they
Yep.
wearing clothes? They just hide behind a puff of clouds. That's why wear clothes.
Well, yeah, I think Jambo was answering this question, and I agree with him. I think mankind has always been obsessed with flying, right? Because we can swim in the water, we can walk on land, but we can never, by our own, physical way, fly. And birds can do it. We can see that. We observe it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a kind of fascination with that. Plus the fact that, like he was saying, you can travel a lot quicker if you can fly because there's no barriers or, no land that you have to traverse, no water that you have to go through. So it just makes sense, as far as being able to traverse from one area to another most efficiently is by flying. That's why Mr. Fantastic created Fantastic Car, Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Yeah, there's a good example, the Fantastic Car. We could all be flying Fantastic Cars right now if it weren't for freaking Reed Richards being so selfish.
Well, probably he doesn't want everybody to be using that nuclear power generator in there, because it could be dangerous in hands that perhaps don't know what they're doing, etc.
I don't know. I think a gas-powered car is pretty dangerous in my hands too, and they still let me drive one.
Well, that's you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. But I've been in a
still
car
waiting on
with
my
you. So,
Jetsons
I
flying
agree.
car,
Yeah. Where's my Jetsons car, Roger?
I don't know. I mean, I just read an article though that there is a practical flying car now. Practical, not practical. It's not like affordable, but it actually works. So, yeah. All right. My last part here, and then I will let you guys go. Is the Legion of Superheroes?
All right.
think-
Well,
I
we
think-
appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you very
Jambo,
much.
no, go ahead.
I think you said that this does count, right? Because again, it's technology based, but it's not. It's something that they all have in common. That ring. Of course, there's more to it than just flying. The ring is also a communication device. It also is a way of them to identify themselves. Like if they have to get into the headquarters, they have to show the ring to a sensor or something. But Superboy can fly without it. In certain circles, Tyra can, probably Cosmic Boy can if he manipulates the magnetic fields. But to me, it's cool that you have a whole team that is able to do that, because otherwise they'd be left behind. Imagine, all right, Legion, we're gonna go take on Darkseid in Asia. All right, you guys take the spaceship, go back up there, and we'll see you.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree. That would be impractical.
It would be very impractical. They all have to have.
It would be terrible on morale.
Very terrible. Right. Right. Now, like the Avengers have the Quinjet, the X-Men have the Blackbird, things like that. So they all have some way of all getting to these areas at the same time. And I think the Legion, since there's so many of them, you'd have to have various ships and all that. So it makes sense to have flight rings.
All right. Well, Chaos and Comics, Chris wants to know, do the rings vibrate? Like, is that how
not to my
travel?
knowledge? No.
All right. So no vibrating rings that we're aware of.
Please have Roger answer that. Not that I know of. I know of. No.
Well, I don't think you trust me or Jambo to answer it seriously.
A wise man.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man. All right, is that all you got, Roger?
Yeah, for now, yeah.
Who's that girl in the pink?
That's Saturn Girl.
I don't know, Saturn Girl.
You don't? Well, you haven't read too many Legion comics because she's all over the silver and bronze.
I avoid anything that has Superboy in the title.
Okay, well, the 80s Legion of Superheroes was Superboy got out because he went back to the 20th century. So there's another 10 or 20 years with Saturn Girl there without Superboy.
Yeah, it was lousy with Saturn Girl then.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know Saturn Girl?
Yeah.
I don't know Saturn Girl.
Bub knows. He's just, he got memory issues. It happens when you're getting older.
I mean, she looks familiar, but I couldn't peg her.
Well, that costume was fairly recent at that point, but she used to have a reddish with a Saturn on the chest there.
Yeah, I think this is her former costume here.
No,
that's not it.
No,
sure?
Not even close. It was much more demure than that.
All right. Let's get back to business here, folks. Here's some more people that fly for absolutely no good reason. Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Just flying around for no reason. Just because by this time in comics, we all agreed that flight was important. If you wanted to have a great character, they had to get around somehow faster than the bad guys. So there you go, Miss Marvel. There she is with the sash in the proper place. It's a nice Frank Cho there.
Well, she got her powers through the Psych Magnetron, which was copied Captain Marvel's powers to a certain degree. So I guess it copied somehow the abilities of the Negabands.
Right, but we already showed Captain Marvel, so I couldn't show Captain Marvel again.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, you said she flies for no good reason. Well, maybe the reason is not good, but the logic is there.
There's another one that stole her flight from another character that had flight.
Yep.
Look at that. Here's Rogue. We had some Rogue questions here. Chaos is always going Rogue. Boy, that one's probably some of the best in that. Look at that. All the different versions of Rogue.
All the different versions, yeah.
Nice Greg Land there. Here's a more recent David Nakayama. She's in this one, she's tired of flying, in case you're wondering. She's exhausted, ready for her post-flight picnic. You all are familiar with that, I'm sure.
Always.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Now, keeping with the X-Men, yet acknowledging that this is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
How many X-Men have the power of flight?
Oodles.
Great many.
Oodles.
Tons of mutants. tons of picking on Storm here.
Storm,
but
Banshee.
Tons of mutants. It was almost a default power. If there was nothing else they could do, they could at least fly.
Angel.
Yeah. And then Archangel, although those wings might have been a bit.
Well, I'm going to come up. My next part is, well, you'll see.
I tell you.
So is Storm really flying, or is she just pushing herself around with wind?
Well, my son and I had a very similar conversation earlier, and I won't even. All right, I'll touch on it just a little bit.
Is that like Thor's hammer, where he actually doesn't fly, but
exactly.
behind it?
So does Thor have the power of electricity either? Like does Storm have the power of electricity? Because my argument was she doesn't really. She's wielding it. But if you are manipulating wind and density, is that any different than manipulating your own density and things like that? I mean, you are the one giving yourself the power to fly just because we happen to know what, weather pattern she's using.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, sure.
I'm with you, Bub. I'm just, playing. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well, she's not using any mechanical device. This is her mutant ability. So,
yeah.
Therefore, yes, she can fly.
Of course it is. Yeah. I mean, she's pushed by the wind. That's true, but the result is that results in flying.
Right.
So, that's the way I would put it.
I think it's flight. All right.
So what about
that's the
Rihanna?
Mechanism, I guess,
in
behind
the old
it.
Fleetwood Mac song. She was taken by the wind.
Ooh, nice one.
Who hasn't been?
That's right over that hammer. Well, that's why he's Thor. He's super strong, man. He doesn't get carpal tunnel.
Look, Jambo crawled off a roof to come be here tonight. So.
That's right.
That was last week.
Live to tell the tale.
Days of earning his college tuition by shimmying down poles, and he went down the gutter, and just to be here so he could show off some books. So why don't you go ahead, Jambo?
Right.
What do you got?
I got this guy.
Oh
yeah. There you go.
Ooh, now that's a good one.
Now, he uses his powers of evil, and he can fly, and then he can turn into a bat.
But does he fly when he's not a bat?
I think he can, yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't he levitate without turning into a bat?
I don't think the original version could. I think maybe the Marvel version could, though, at some point.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's the one we're showing. Lucky for Jambo.
We're gonna go with the old Marvel here. Since
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, what a surprise! Thanks, Roger, for giving him the key to victory.
We'll go with the old Marvel.
Okay, we already talked about this guy, but I pulled this nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know how those little wings propel him through the air.
Gingerly.
But they do.
Yeah, that's a little bit ridiculous.
It does defy logic.
Okay, Roger, while you were gone, we said the surfer. Can he fly without his board?
I do believe he can.
Now, I think he can just levitate without his board. I don't think he can move back.
Well, he has the power cosmic.
He has the power cosmic.
I'm sure he could make himself fly if he wanted to.
Yeah, he should be able to. Yeah. I don't recall him doing it without the board, though, now that you say that, though.
Well, there you have it. Proof positive.
What about the old Airwalker there?
I put him in the same kind of category as Doctor Strange. I mean,
in the Vision? Well, he was mechanical, right?
He was mechanical. Well, that version was later on.
That version there, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did walk on air, but he moved forward, so
right.
Slow flight, but yeah, it was flight.
Slow flight too.
Yeah.
Low and slow.
Right?
Slow flight, yeah.
Okay, so we've not put this guy up there yet. But in the beginning, he couldn't fly, right?
Correct. He could only
leap
like
tall
on the
buildings.
cover here. He leaped tall buildings in a single bound.
He was the Hulk back then. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hulk kind of copied him, right?
Probably.
The Hulk still can't fly though, can he?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't keep up with the current comic.
Not yet.
No.
He might be able to now. I don't
And then there's Supergirl.
Right.
Isn't she though?
It's
Yeah. I'm sorry I
Isn't she,
didn't
though?
find a better copy, but yeah,
Oh, what do you mean?
I didn't find a better copy of
Or any better image?
Supergirl.
Yeah.
Now, how did they explain that Superman could fly again?
The power of the red sun. He was
Red
less
Sun,
dense.
yeah.
Red Sun. Okay. All right.
He's less dense, even though he would have to be more dense. Like that's how he gets his strength, right? From being more dense here.
That's right.
And yet
That's part of
he's
his origin.
so-
Yeah.
But yet he is also less dense, so he can fly. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. That doesn't hold water.
And our thumbnail girl there.
Zars.
Our
With
girl.
the same powers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Another Kryptonian, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Hails from the Kryptonians.
sometimes she had an assist there from the old balloons.
Yes,
Mm.
that's true. Hot air, you say?
Hot air. She's full of
There's a
hot
lot
air.
of hot air on here. Let me put it that way.
So I was thinking like
I
you
know.
guys. I was thinking Storm
Storm. Yeah.
and Angel.
Yep.
Oh yeah, nice catch.
But there's a bunch of mutants that fly.
Oh yeah.
The X-Men's lousy with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
and okay, so this guy is called Skyman.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really have the power of flight unless he has these airplanes. So,
Airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
So that's kind of like the reverse of what we were talking about. You know that
Yeah, even though he's Skyman,
he should be able to fly, but he can't.
yeah, you would
Yeah.
think. But I guess jets and everything were kind of new back then, so
Oh yeah. True.
anything to
Yeah.
do with them was kind of cool.
True. True. That's
I
a good
guess
point.
that's why
Good
we
point.
had all that.
Still are.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, but back then they were really novel. No, our yellow sun. That's right. Well, he had a red sun. Now
He
it's
had a
yellow
red
sun.
sun. The difference
Yeah.
between the red and the yellow made him denser yet lighter. I don't know.
Earth magnetic field. Okay. All right.
What was
That may
And
be.
here's another one of those kitchen sink guys that's got ever power, including flight.
Yeah.
Now he didn't originally though when he was him.
Because
Right.
he used to be in a cocoon. Cocoons
Cocoon,
don't
right?
fly.
Yeah.
But he hatched.
Well,
When
yeah,
did-
he had to
when-
hatch.
When did he start flying? Did he start flying when he got his series in the 70s?
Everyone's got to leave the cocoon sometime, Roger.
In
True.
wasn't it in Thor? Was he flying when he was fighting Thor in the
I don't think so.
no?
I don't think so. I think it was his 70s series, but I could be wrong, Jambo. It's been a long time.
Oh, look at
since
this,
I read that.
guys. I just noticed this. It's this old van right here. It's knocked over, this old Ford van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those.
I think I rode in that Ford van before. I remember getting in and I remember waking up on a park bench. I don't remember much else.
It didn't fly now, did it, Jambo?
I might
It did not
have.
fly. Well, I mean, if you ask certain people, they would say yes. because,
Gotcha.
My goodness.
Gotcha.
let's see. I think I've got a few more. Maybe.
Don't you threaten
Yeah.
that.
Go ahead, Roger.
Oh, all right. All right. Oh, we can almost see you there, Jambo. Be careful.
Sorry.
All right. So I picked a few here where their predominant or only power is flight. You know, like that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, maybe there are some ancillary things, but like Red Raven and Miss America.
Okay.
What
Okay.
other power do they have other than flight?
Miss America had the power of patriotism.
Okay, that's not going to win you a lot of battles against baddies, though. That's going to win you some goodwill, perhaps. But I think Red Raven could use his wings like as weapons or something. But my point being that again, the fascination with flight, right? That alone was, you know, a really cool power dynamic to illustrate on comics. But
I can see that.
But you know, it's I mean, obviously, you know, if you can fly, you can do a lot of, you can carry somebody up and drop them, and then that's it. You know, I mean, you know, that they're gone, you know, unless they can fly. So you can get away very easy. You can you know, you can grab other things and get them places faster. So there's lots of utility to it, but you know, it's a one-trick pony essentially. All right, so here's a guy, Torpedo. Well, it was a guy, or it doesn't matter. It's the suit. This is technology-based stuff, right? But essentially, that's what the suit could do, is fly. He had these gauntlets, which caused, I believe, some kind of a wind or something. But essentially, you could fly quickly. And
okay.
That was
did it propel him? Because it looks almost like it would be a mechanical device around his ankles and wrists.
It is.
Okay.
It creates jets essentially that go. Torpedo is really not a good name for him because torpedo's underwater, but it creates jets behind him and that propulses. But my point being that it's not the mechanical part. We know that doesn't count, but that's pretty much his primary power. You know, other than some air jets that he can, you know, shoot out the front. I mean, not the most interesting stuff. All right, here's this guy, Falcon.
And yet,
yeah,
and yet you shared it with us.
And yet I shared it anyway, right? Just because he was. Listen, I went to my Marvel premieres and I just said, "Oh, this guy," you know. Falcon. Now, Falcon originally was really boring because he couldn't fly. He did have that symbiotic, not symbiotic, the relationship with Red Wing, the mental whatever, the connection to Red Wing. So he had that, but you know, but really, until he started flying, really, he was pretty boring character, you know, as far as powers go. I think later on he developed a fighting style that had to do with flying. He could, you know, swoop down and flip people
you're
over.
Hanging out with Captain America too, so yeah, you're bound to pick up some good fighting styles, right?
Right.
One would hope.
But you know, I think we can agree that his primary power is flight. I mean, if he was just being able to control Red Wing, that's pretty limiting, you know, pretty limited stuff. Yeah,
it's already pretty limiting.
Well, it is, but even more so here. So yeah, Angel. I think you mentioned him, Jambo.
Yeah,
previously, but again, really, his only power is being able to fly. And unlike some other characters, he's got those big, huge wings, which have got to be problematic because they're big targets, you know. So.
Well, now Hawkman, he had some strength too, right?
Yeah, he was a Thanagarian, so he was a little tougher and a little stronger. That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to mention him in a bit there, Jambo.
Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to get ahead of you.
No. That's fine.
It's easy to do, Jambo. It's not your fault.
that's fine and dandy. But you know, my point is, again, you know, it's the more interesting characters have more than just the power of flight. You know, so I'm going through these characters, and you're like, none of these characters. Generally speaking, my favorite character is the Angel. You know, you don't hear a lot of that. You know? So now they did make him like I don't know if it was Bub or you that mentioned Archangel. You know,
that was me. What are you trying to take my credit away for?
Right. Well, then he had those projectiles, the wing, the feathers that turned into projectiles, and
they were trying to make him a flying Wolverine, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I would say to a certain degree. Yeah. I mean, obviously he was even a little more, you know, savage than
Wasn't he
Wolverine.
Well, isn't that when they made him like a horseman of the apocalypse?
Yeah, he was one of the 4 horsemen. Yeah. What was he? Death?
I didn't hear that. Repeat that.
Was he death? Because he couldn't be famine. That would.
I heard.
It couldn't
I think
be
you're breaking up.
pestilence.
I heard. Was he famine or what was the other thing?
No, I'm saying he must have been death because he couldn't be the other 3. Is my point. So it wouldn't make sense. All right.
So it must have been what?
Huh?
He must have been what?
Archangel must have been one of the horsemen of death. Is my point.
Oh,
right.
Oh, death. Oh,
death.
Okay.
Yes, death.
All right, I got you now.
DEATH.
I couldn't hear you there for a second.
Sorry for my Cuban accent there. All right. So, well, I guess he could have been war, but oh well. Anyway. Okay, so you know who this guy is over here, right, Jambo?
Why are you only asking Jambo?
Yes. Black Condor.
Black Condor. Did you know who he was, Bub?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you did not.
That's Black Condor. Everybody knows Black Condor.
You did
Absolutely.
You did
From the Freedom, I think first appearance somewhere in Freedom Fighters, maybe issue 1. I feel
no.
like
He appeared in the quality. See, Jambo.
Yeah.
We got him. We got him. He was a quality character, quality comics character back in the 40s. So.
I wouldn't call him that quality.
I wouldn't either, and that's my.
He might have been a character, but I don't think he's a quality character.
You saying he's low quality, Bub? Is that what you're saying?
He might be no quality.
Well, that's my point, right? That his only. Well, first of all, how he got the ability to fly was amazing. He hung out with condors.
Yeah.
And learned.
Yeah, that happens. That's
and learned from them how to fly. So
that's how I learned to pull honey out of a pot, hanging out with bears.
So, but his
Grizzly Man hung out with the bears, and it didn't end up good for him. So
that's true.
But as far as I know, the only later on they did give him like some kind of mental powers, but for many years, all he could do was fly.
Right?
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God they gave you some other power.
Something else, yeah. Right, exactly, right. But yeah, again, you don't hear too many people. Ooh, yeah, I collect all Black Condor appearances. No,
I do.
Yeah, please.
Look, I'm tired of you guys picking on my guy, Black Condor.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Hawkman. I think somebody mentioned the difference there is that Angel's wings are part of him. True. And Hawkman's aren't. It's part of his uniform. He was essentially a law enforcement officer. But like Jambo said, he's Thanagarians are tougher and stronger than normal humans. Not super much, but somewhat more. So I again, but just like the other characters we're talking about, without those wings, he's not much of a hero. I mean, he's essentially like a lesser Captain America without a shield,
That's really going low. He's already a lesser Captain America and he's missing a shield.
Well, he uses the maces, he uses those antique weapons, maces and things like that, right?
Can we talk about the terrible art on display right here? Can this not be discussed?
Okay.
I know that you won't take offense to it because as a run collector and a completist, you've made your peace with bad art years ago.
Oh yes, you know it.
So
who
drew that? Or who?
I believe that's Ernie Chan, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Man, that is terrible. Yeah, Ernie Chan. Sure enough.
Yeah, Ernie Chan. Yep. Now Ernie Chan did a lot of good covers, but every once in a while,
this isn't one of them.
Well, he did so many. I think that he couldn't put a lot of detail into a lot of them, or a lot of conceptual thought. So yeah, this one's a little not. Look, I like Superman. Look at that. He's almost like simian. Like, I mean, the way that he's there, like long arms and the head is kind of, tucked under.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a great Superman. What was I thinking?
Makes you want to throw in peanuts, right?
That's anatomy 101 right there, folks. Everybody, look at this.
All right, so that's enough of me yapping. I'm out.
I never get enough of you yapping, Roger. All right, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I don't really. We're already on time, but here's no one has talked about the Kryptonians. Here
Jambo
we have
did.
Superman.
He's not counting me.
Poor Jambo, he just got kicked to the curb.
Wait, nobody mentioned the other Kryptonians.
I might as well be up on a roof somewhere.
Probably
I
better.
thought you were
off,
broadcasting from the roof. More Supergirl.
Oh, there you go. See, that's a better one, though. I'll give you props for that.
I
And that one's
appreciate
way
that.
better. Yeah.
All right. And then,
Probably
of course,
right,
the last Kryptonian or quasi-Kryptonian anyway. The alternate dimension Kryptonians.
Well, I think originally she was a Kryptonian, but a cousin of somebody or other.
I think she's an alternate dimension of Supergirl. I think.
Oh, could be.
All right. Well, there you go. That's our show, folks. Catch you next week or not. I'm about done. I think I'm shutting this thing down. We tried to revive it. It didn't work. We brought Jambo in off the roof. No help.
My brain got cooked on the roof, guys.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
man.
Hey, Superman's coming from Earth 2.
I even brought out Wiggles the worm here. Wiggles
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Wonder
come
Worm.
on.
Yeah, thank goodness.
I don't
we
think
were
there's-
almost saved by Wiggles. It was
I don't
another
think there's
Wiggles the
anybody
Wonder
else
Worm.
in this community except Jambo who would bring out Wiggles the Worm.
Yes.
Okay, that's how special, and that's
He's super powered, too.
Yeah.
I might add.
Oh,
With a
well,
name
how-
like
how could he
Wiggles,
not
come
be?
on. That's
If he's
obvious.
wearing clothes, he's a super powered worm already. He's already got the power to put clothes on. Best program to prepare dinner to. Yeah, because you only have to give one ear, not both, and you don't have to give any of your eyes. We got this, Gore. We know. We're a background show, but that's kind of the point of this show. Is more of a kind of almost a podcast, and yet still just whatever. You know, you don't have to look at Roger or Jambo's face, and in kind, I don't make you look at mine. You know, so it's just how it is. Oh man.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Roger, does Jambo have anything coming up on his channel or any of the other channels he'll be on?
Well, I hope he will be on Four Color Fossils on Wednesday on Graphics Man's channel.
Is that
And
true?
I believe he
I
had a
should be
haul
there,
video
yes.
not a few days ago. Hopefully he'll have another one soon after he comes back down off the roof. And
He usually puts them up Sundays, I think.
yeah, that's true.
We try
Um,
Sundays most of the time.
But regardless, you should always be seeing his channel because he shows comics that I don't see anywhere else.
Yes, I concur with Roger.
Thank
When
you,
it comes
fella.
to Jambo, my advice is always be seeing his channel. That's what that's a win. What do you got coming up on your channel there, Metarog? Are you still in hiatus? Are you still knocking the sand out of your ears?
No, I did my July shelf video, which I actually shouted out Bub's work comics on there, I do believe.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. See, Jambo saw it because he left a comment. See,
It was
unlike some
probably in the
people-
last couple of days. Did you put it up in the last couple of days?
Yeah.
I haven't had a computer for days.
Oh, okay.
Been
And I'm doing
Dog
a
ate
bunch of shorts so that I show all the 30-cent variants. So if you ever are running across some perhaps and you need a quick reference, I'm putting 9-minute videos showing the whole set.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to come up with some kind of video on Thursday, which I have not yet determined what it is.
We'll be the judge of that.
And of course, I'll be on Cover Slingers on Saturday on Mr. Grayman's channel.
All right.
Oh, of course you will.
Oh, there was a lot of controversy last week, by the way, Bub.
More controversy?
Yes, I was given the win, but I didn't really win mathematically.
And wow, what is going on over there?
I tell you, it's just a mess of it's I don't know. It's just weird stuff happening on Cover Slingers. You got to be there. Got to see it. 2:00 on Saturday.
You got to see it so that you know who really won. Even
You got it,
wow, this is ridiculous.
Jambo. You got to come back, man. We miss you.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Try not to get stuck anywhere anymore.
That's
I
right.
don't believe
If you
that.
if you get stuck, just bring your comics with you up there. So that's what I would help.
Yeah, remember that time he went through an entire Christmas episode with the same book?
Same comic.
So
Hey,
you
All
can
I
do
need
it.
one, right?
That goes
You just
down in
need
the
one good
annals of
book.
YouTube as one of the best shows ever. Okay.
2 weeks of controversy.
I got
All
my
right,
money's
Jambo.
worth out of that book. All I
Oh
can
man,
say.
did
you
you
know.
ever?
Yeah, you did. Front, back cover, and every panel in between. And he even showed a coupon that was cut out, I think.
I could see Jambo just shuffling papers back there when it was his turn. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
man.
All right, Jambo, what do you got for us on the old Woolly Worm Showcase extravaganza?
That's pretty much it. I'll be on Graphic Man's channel on Wednesday night at 8:00, and we'll try to get out a video this week. I've not been too successful the last couple of weeks on getting them out on time, but I will try to do one this week sometime.
All right.
And get some stuff for you guys to look at.
And potentially, maybe we'll be back. Will you maybe come back next week for this channel? Seeing as how you were such a great success.
I'm sorry my story wasn't more riveting, man. But I mean, there's only so much you can say about being stuck up on a roof when a ladder falls off.
I spent more time hyping it last week than you spent telling it.
Well, it was kind of exciting when I got on the ladder and it shifted and almost threw me off the roof. So that was kind of exciting. But without a visual, I mean, I can't really,
Yeah, I get
that was pretty much it.
Oh, Jambo.
Well,
we love you, Jambo. We're glad you're okay, buddy.
Yeah. All right. I'm behind on everybody's videos. I'll catch up on everybody. I haven't had a computer since last Wednesday, I think. So
no wonder.
Tuesday.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's been a long week.
That's why you were sounding funky in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this all worked out, but
working the bugs out, man.
He sounds his usual self now.
I swear it took me like a year to get everything working on the old computer until it was exactly the way I wanted it. I've been riding that, and now I don't remember all my settings, and everything is just.
You'll figure it out, but I have faith in you.
I have faith in your faith in me. Thank you. All right, so that sounds good. I'll have some videos to post eventually if I can get them filmed. I was still working on settings just today, so hopefully I can get everything squared away and we'll have a decently produced video to put out maybe on Wednesday. That's what we're shooting for. I'll film it tonight or tomorrow, and I got lots of books to show, lots of great stuff to show off. We got the No Faces comic chat every Monday night, barring people lost on roofs and vacations and other such things. But we'll keep the old candle burning. Thanks again to Comic Bag Musings for your extra special chat. We thank you for cracking that old piggy bank open and doling out a few shekels, keeping the lights on, as they say. Thanks to everybody that joined us. Bubs with my book. Okay, you got it. Thank you. Let's just go through the list of everyone that was here tonight. Yeah, right. That's a good way to drop the two watchers there. So, but everyone watching on the replay, thanks for hanging with us. Sorry we went a little over, and for all the tacticular difficulties, we'll have none of it fixed for next week. So, all right, we'll catch you next time on Bubs Comics. Remember, Roger wants to tell everybody something. What do you want to tell him, Roger?
Be kind to each other. Be blessed and be back. I can't get glare on this comic no matter what I do.
Wow, that's impressive. All right, Jambo, what do you want to tell the fine folks
about? I want to tell everybody to watch out for rickety ladders and to subscribe.
Yes, watch out for that lot lizard that's been hanging out in Richmond, Kentucky. Her name is Rickety Ladders, and he'll end up in a week's worth of salve and potions to get rid of what she's doing. And also to remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.